Hey there guys, Reaper here and I'm back with another painting video, and this is the Raider from Barbarians the Invasion. Now you start off with a nice tanned flesh, because I figured I'll go back to how it worked before, because when I done the original red champion it worked really well, so I figured I'd do the same again. And this is just that. The camera does focus up a bit more later on, it's just this first clip for some reason was out of focus. And sorry it's taken a bit longer than normal to get this video out, but it was Comic-Con this weekend, so I've been working on getting my outfit ready for that instead of actually doing the voiceover. Because I've had the painting ready and done, but it's taken more time to get the outfit prepped than I thought it would, so I haven't had a chance to actually do this voiceover. But there we go, the camera's now nice and focused up, as it should be. And my hands are absolutely filthy, as you can see, from doing the props for Comic-Con. We went as Vault Boys. And we move on to the, once the flesh is done, we move on to the, most of the clothing I've done is leather. So I've used leather brown for that clothing. And then the cloak I actually done a different colour because I wanted to stand out a bit more. But everything on the front pretty much is just leather brown. That was the easiest way of doing it, and it looks alright after you add the wash. This is one of those rare models actually where the wash actually makes the model look exactly how it should do. So there was no need to do any highlighting after the wash. It was just, once it dried I looked at it, it's like, that's good, that's how it should be. So I just painted the base and I've left it as that, which you'll see towards the end of the video obviously. And that is it for the leather brown. Then we move on to Army Painter's Army Green, which is what I use for the cape on the back. I think it's the only thing I use the Army Green on for the whole model. He's got, like, when you look at that, there's the cape, and then there's got some weird, like, fur thing just around his neck, which obviously isn't done in the Army Green, because that would look weird. But when doing something like this, always make sure you're rather careful after you've done a few colours. Because when you're doing the first colour, you haven't got to be that careful because it's quite easy. But once you get the other colours on, you've got to start being more careful, and it takes longer and longer to do each piece. And we move on to Monster Brown after the Army Green. This is to do the boots. I figured the boots shouldn't be the same colour as the bottoms because it just would all blend into one and look very strange. Because most of these models, you don't look at these models up close. All these models are from like 2-3 feet away on a table, so you wouldn't actually see up close. So if you use the same colours, it would just look like he's wearing a weird pair of leggings, essentially. And then we move on to the Banshee Brown, which is what I use for the fur. I was originally going to use a white, but white is very hard to dull back down to a more neutral colour, whereas Banshee Brown is a nice off-white brown, and it works really well for this sort of thing. He's on the side of his thing, he's got a little pouch on that side. On the other side, he's got some weird bags that I paint a bit later on. But for now, we move on to the Army Painter's Plate Mail Metal, which is for all the metallic parts, which is the shoulder pad, his sword, and he's got a belt buckle as well, and a few rings dotted around on his armour. And of course, he's got studs right down the front, which is a pain in the ass to paint, but it adds to the look really well if you just dot in those studs. And that is it for the Plate Mail Metal. Then we move on to Skeleton Bone. This is just for the bone. He's got 2 skulls on his knees and a bone necklace on. So quickly paint them up just to make them pop out a little bit more compared to the rest of the model. And bone in a leather colour looks strange, so definitely paint these a light colour compared to the rest of the legs. No, that's it for the bone, and then we move on to ash grey. I figured this guy looks old compared to the other models, so I figured grey hair. It's something I haven't painted before as well, so I thought I'd give it a go. But I do miss a beard. He has got a beard which I'll come back and paint later on. But for now, we're going on to the little pouches he's got on his waist. I'll just get a bit of deep blue and just quickly cover them over. Like, you don't have to use separate colours, it would be nice, but I wanted to keep this short and simple so that it's not over complicated. So I've just gone on with the one colour, and then the wash obviously fixes it. No, it doesn't fix it, it looks alright, but the wash separates them a bit more. And here I am just quickly filling in that beard that I noticed. And then I'll move on to matte black, because he's got 2 knives sheathed in his belt at the front. And I wanted them to pop out up against everything else that's there, so I figured matte black is a good way to go for that. But another viable option would be Necromancer's Cloak or Darkstone. Something like a dark grey would have looked just as well. And then I'll do something a little different to normal. Before the washes, I'm doing the edge highlighting on the skin. Because normally I'd wash and then come back and highlight afterwards, but for this one I figured highlight first and then wash, because it should blend all the colours a little bit more and make it look a bit more natural. And there we go, that's all the skin highlighted up, and then we move on to the washes. And I start off with the standard flesh wash for all the flesh, as that's the only really wash I use on flesh anymore. Like, I have other colours that could work, but flesh wash is exactly what it's designed for, so I figured I'll also use it for that. And then for the rest of the model, I use Army Painter's Strong Tone, as it's a nice dark brown. It's not quite black, so it can work on other colours quite well, but it's dark enough that you can use it on metallics as well, and it works really well on metallics. Like, this is essentially the only wash I use on my orcs for 40k. I just dark wash the whole thing and then green tone the skin. And it gives it a nice sort of dirty, dusty look to it. Which is good for a lot of warriors, because especially an old warrior, his clothing is going to be older and more worn. And then, as you can see, I just don't do any highlighting after this, I just go straight on to the base. And if you watched the previous video of the Archer, you'll notice the paint is going on a lot easier with this primer. Like, that green primer that I had is utterly useless for this sort of thing, whereas this grey one is perfect. Everything just goes straight on, no problem. No pooling, well, it pulls, but how it should do, it doesn't separate how it did. And there's the final images of the model. Hope you enjoyed, guys. I'll catch you in the next one. And there's only 2 more models, I believe, to paint out of this, and then it's on to banners and resource icons, which I'll paint as well, just for fun. But that's it for now, guys. I'll catch you in the next one. See ya.